Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Zero Dark Nerdy, the world's most notorious pop culture podcast. This is your host, Brian, a.k.a. El Nino, and today I am joined with...
Mateo, your casual genius, a.k.a. Don Mega.
Don Mega. I'm going to have to get that sample from Ice Cube. Big shout out to our sponsor, Believe Podcast Network, the #1 podcast network for professionals. Do you believe? Be sure you check them out at Believe.com, and that is BLEAV.com. Today, we're going to be doing a nice little review of the brand new movie out, Judas and the Black Messiah, hit HBO Max as well as theaters, I believe, early last month. We're in March right now. So just maybe 3-4 weeks ago. So not too far away. Want to talk about the movie itself, performances, things like that. Again, you'll be able to check it out. I believe you have till about middle of March. HBO Max, contrary to popular belief, when these movies do come out on HBO Max, they're only on there for, I believe it's 30 days max. So do yourself a favor, get your history lesson on. A lot of people, Matthew and I were talking about this earlier. You don't exactly learn about the Black Panthers during Black History Month in high school. It's usually saved for either us doing, the research ourselves, or maybe African American studies in college. So it's a very educational film, teaches you a lot about Fred Hampton and kind of his upcoming and going on with the Black Panther, at least, party in Chicago, correct, Illinois. So I'll let Matt start things off over here. We're just gonna have a little discussion about this movie.
I was lucky enough to know a few Panthers.
Okay.
In fact, my African American studies teacher was a Black Panther.
Oh, nice. So this is at A&T?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, at A&T. This story is long overdue. And I'll say it's as impactful as the first time I seen Malcolm X, Denzel as Malcolm X. Yes, Daniel's acting was incredible. Lakeith Stanfield was amazing.
So good.
Which is another thing. He got beef with like Charlemagne. Charlemagne said that was talking shit about who he portrayed, and the whole thing was like, I'm acting, man. So
right.
You have no idea what it took to get to that space.
Right. And he didn't have a lot of source material either, compared to Daniel having quite a bit of source material. Not like he had not like there's a bunch of Martin Luther King videos out there in regards to Fred Hampton, but Lakeith did not have a lot of source material.
The guy was an informant.
Yeah, he was an informant, and he was on one PBS special. That was it. So
Eyes on the prize
Charlemagne.
too.
Charlemagne's always hating. God almighty. Charlemagne to God. Boo.
Boo. Boo this man. But reading about Lakeith's Mr. Sandfield's like his method and the toll that it took on him, like he was fucked up afterwards.
Yeah.
Even Daniel said so, and nobody wants to be that guy. Nobody wants to play that. But he did, and he did very, very well.
Yeah.
I believed him. Like I was almost upset that he was playing that.
Right. Right.
But it was really good. It was just perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Everything down to Hampton's speeches.
God,
his dialect, the way he talked, it was perfect. It was just a story that needed to be told.
Yeah. And I think it's the perfect time, for a story like this, especially after the year that we all endured last year. No matter, what you may have gone through. I don't have to remind you about 2020, but this is something that we obviously needed to see now. And I agree. I was telling Matthew the other day, I did not know that Daniel Kaluuya was British until he was doing an interview. And it's just like, good gosh, these British actors do better accents than we do. And this is, where
not
we
only
live
that,
at.
he's playing an American during civil rights and stuff. Like, How do you do that?
Right, right. I tell you now, you don't want to hear my British accent because it's terrible. So, and then
Governor.
Right. Hello, governor.
That's all I got.
Hello, puppet.
Hello, puppet.
That's it. That's it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, to do not just a regular American accent, but to do that
Fred
like
Hampton's
Fred
accent.
Hampton, like
Yeah.
his voice. And I did not know much about Fred Hampton before this. I've heard a little bit here and there. And then after watching the movie, I started doing a little bit more research on it. And you're correct. I mean, watching his speeches, and then seeing Daniel do them as him in the movie. I mean, if you were blind, it's very hard to tell who is who. To be quite honest with you, that's how good of a job that he does.
He was so intense.
Yeah.
He meant everything.
Yeah.
And he was all in.
Football might be over, but NBA, college basketball, and the NHL are in full swing. And the only place you should be betting on these sports is at betonline.ag. BetOnline covers awards, TV shows, and reality TV. BetOnline has hundreds of props with real-time odds on almost anything you can imagine. And of course, the 24-hour online casino. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. Just want to give some shout outs out there to Shaka King, the gentleman who directed, produced, and was one of the writers on this. The Lucas Brothers. If you have not heard about the Lucas Brothers, I'm sure you may have seen them and just forgot their name. They're the comedic twins. They have the same glasses. And
They got their own cartoon.
They got their own cartoon. They actually wrote this after learning more about Fred Hampton's story in their African studies class in college. So big shout out to those guys out there. And again, great performances by Lakeith as well as Daniel. And they worked together on Get Out. Mm-hmm. And this was, I believe they're like the first time working together since then. So it'll be great to see them do that after. But I thought they were great. I thought Jesse Plemons was fantastic. And Jesse Plemons is one of those dudes, and I think you touched on it earlier with Lakeith. You know someone does a great job in their role when you hate them. Yeah, when you hate them. And that was like how it was with the first time I saw or anytime I see Gladiator and you see Joaquin, you know, you're just like, man, I fucking hate him. But and just like what's his name, Jack Gleason, I believe it is, from Game of Thrones, Joffrey. You know, he did such a good job that even though he wanted to take a step back from acting anyways, he kind of had to because he was getting like hate mail.
I'm sure he was.
And people don't, you know.
I hate that motherfucker.
Right. And they got to separate, like, you know, this is just a dude acting.
Yeah.
And from what everyone on the cast says of Game of Thrones, that he's is
like the greatest guy.
The nicest guy ever. So to meet someone and think that this is the greatest person ever and see them do a character like that just goes to show you, you know, not that we don't sit here and talk shit about actors and this, that, and the other. We know it's not easy. Trust me. I get it. And I have a lot of respect for people that do it, whether if you're fantastic, phenomenal, or, you know, you're okay. I can't do that shit. So I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not going to try to shit on you as much as most people. But if you can get someone to genuinely dislike you based on the performance, you have done well.
It's
and
worked.
that's definitely what Lakeith did. And I can see how that messed him up mentally because it's
he had to go there.
you had to take yourself there to do that. And you know, again, Jesse Plemons, same thing. He was
Plemons
the guy
I was rooting for.
Right.
Like, don't be that guy. Don't.
Right. And
he's so
you
close.
could see that he was battling.
Yes.
And he was
It was
trying
an
to
internal
be the
struggle.
voice of reason. Right. And I tell you, the more I read up and see stuff on J. Edgar Hoover, that guy to me is
Piece of shit.
fucking like just Satan.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Satan in the flesh.
Wait till you see Trial by Chicago 7.
Oh, I can't wait.
There is a small. Fred Hampton is in it.
Okay.
Very small part.
I was actually going to ask you too. We just did a 2021 Golden Globes recap before this. So timeline wise, where does that, you know, the timelines go between the trial of the Chicago 7 and Judas and the Black Messiah?
The trial goes on during
Okay.
most of it. In the middle of the trial, Fred dies.
Okay. Gotcha.
So the trial goes on for a long time,
Okay. Gotcha.
almost a full year. So
So compare just real quick, kind of, if you're going to compare both films, which one did you like better? Obviously, there's no loser here because I know you like both a lot. But if you were to like put one first and then a very, very, you know,
Judas.
nose finish, Judas, yeah,
Judas.
Gotcha.
hands down.
Okay.
I mean, it was just aside from the acting, and I mean, all around, like Jesse Plemons, like he was good. He was really good.
Yeah.
It was one of those
And
things.
Martin Sheen is J. Edgar Hoover. Didn't
It was
expect
super
that.
hard to watch, but at the same time, very informative,
Yeah.
very real,
Yep.
very honest.
Yep. Because we all
And that's
know,
what we need.
exactly, and we all know movies, they take their liberties. It's not always going to be 100% factual.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at a couple things as far as difference between real life and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, though, like, he was assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. No ifs, ands, or buts. There wasn't any fabrication when it comes to that.
They addressed that in the trial
Okay.
because Bobby Seale was on trial.
Okay.
He was a Panther,
Yeah.
but he wasn't even involved in the trial by 7.
Okay.
So in the middle of this, he gets word that Fred dies, and he's like, "Well, he got shot in the shoulder. How's he gonna aim? How's he gonna even lift a pistol?"
Right.
And then he gets shot in the head.
Right.
So he did get assassinated. Yes.
Yeah.
Even in the movie, I'm like, oh, he's still moving.
Yeah. Yep.
Fucked up.
Yep. And then I was reading too where his they weren't married, but I can't think of her name, who he had the kid with, where that is like the 100% factual thing is she's even gone on record saying after they put the 2 bullets in his head that the officer said, well, now he's dead. And then he says it in the movie too. So, but yeah, his, again, Daniel's performance, especially his last speech at the church, where just talking about being a revolutionary and then being for the people and dying for the people and having this, of course he ends up getting his girl knocked up, and she's like, well, what about us? And, at the end of the day, because he was only 21 years old when he passed, which to me, I was just like blown away. And B,
He was so wise.
yeah, just an incredibly smart dude, and it's you're right. It's a powerful film. More people need to know this story. To be quite honest,
It's American history.
It is.
It's American history.
And again, I doubt that we'll ever see this. I mean, granted, some high schools are starting to get a little bit more, for lack of a better term, progressive as far as what they're teaching kids, and now they're getting away from like. And Native Americans were bad, and cowboys, like, finally, you know what I mean? So,
and shit.
right, yeah, like Columbus Day is like, this dude fucking caused genocide.
We no longer have Columbus Day.
Right.
We have Indigenous Peoples Day.
Exactly.
I believe it is.
So it's finally, you got to peel off the, what is it? Not the layers, but the rainbows and butterflies that they teach you in school of shit.
Rip that Band-Aid off.
Exactly.
Just get rid of it.
Look, this there's been a lot of corrupt stuff out there, and it's about, granted, it takes a lot of time for us to get it, when they declassify records and this, that, and the other. I mean, in the movie too, they talk about the lawsuit that went on, and that went on for like 12 years. So, but again, great performances, great movie.
I even think they brought up Emmett Till, and
Yep.
and that lady recently came out and said, "Yeah, I lied."
Yep. Yep. This is
America.
We still got a long way to go. And the fucked up thing is the things that we're talking about, you would think that we were talking about these things like hundreds of years ago. You know what I mean? Like Egyptians putting, having like slaves build the pyramids.
It's likely
like
that your grandparents witnessed all of this.
And that's the thing. This is within like the last 50, 60 years. And we're just now finally getting to a place as a country to being like, all right, let's let, gloves off. Let's try to do something for the most part of it, because it's been a lot of lies, a lot of mistruths out there to just kind of cover some things up. And it just needs to continue.
For what though? Like,
right.
Stop covering it up. Man.
Right. Want to give a brief moment to talk about our newest sponsor, eBay. Whether rare dead stock or the latest release, find the exact shoe you're looking for. As the original sneaker marketplace, eBay is the place to go to cop the pair you've been eyeing. With eBay's authenticity guarantee, your sneakers are meticulously inspected by independent professional authenticators. A team of experienced sneaker authenticators verify the box, logo, stitching, and dozens of other inspection points. Each sneaker also receives an authenticity guarantee tag that includes a digital stamp of authenticity. And it also protects sellers with a verified return process. And for sneaker sellers out there, eBay has eliminated selling fees on sneakers $100 and up, making it free to sell or flip your collection. Go to ebay.com/sneakers today. eBay, the world's best destination for discovering great value and unique selection. So we'll see. But again, check out Judas and the Black Messiah. Big shout out to our boy Afika. His song is on the last trailer that they did for the movie, song called Chosen. We have a podcast with him coming out soon, but we have a podcast that we did with him about a year and a half ago with our boy Jay Timber. Big shout out to Jay Timber, trying to showcase and highlight some of this beautiful and amazingly talented local talent here in the Triad area of North Carolina. Big shout out to our listeners here in the United States as well as overseas. And as always, check out the website, popculturepodcast.com. We do have the 2020 Pop Culture Awards going on. You just go to our blog page, click on it. You can vote for 6 categories. And then we will be recording that episode probably middle of this month, getting ready to kick off season 4, year 3. We are so blessed to continue to do this. So we're just going to keep trying to improve, keep trying to get better out there. Any suggestions, comments, show ideas, please hit us up on the website on the Contact Us form. Of course, big shout out to Attorney Newman, AndrewNewman.com. Or I'm sorry, AttorneyNewman.com. Our attorney is Andrew Newman. Zibster for hooking us up with our great website. That is ZIBSTER. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I just want to implore every one of you to read up on this stuff.
Yeah.
Or don't. Just watch the movies.
Knowledge is power.
Just watch it.
Simple.
Watch the Trial of the Chicago 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Netflix. It's really good. Yeah. Borat is in it, and he's really good.
Yeah. Sacha
Baron Cohen.
Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's really good. Yeah. Like I said, it goes on around the same time.
Yeah.
In fact, Bobby Seale was you're gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it.
And you're gonna hate the judge.
As I normally do.
And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Well, see, what I love doing too with movies like this, really any kind of whether not autobiography, because you rarely ever see those, but biographies, is I love trying to read the history behind it too. Because again, there of course there's artistic liberties that are taken with movies, and I get it. Totally get it. I mean, especially if they're based on books or whatever it may be, but I love looking and seeing the comparisons and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's still more knowledge.
Right.
But yeah, please educate yourself out there. As much as we love comics and horror and action movies, at the end of the day too, these biographies and these true stories mean just as much to us as watching, Endgame or anything like that. I mean, we love all the nerdy shit. I mean, we're called Zero Dark Nerdy, but at the end of the day too, please educate yourself out there and do your own homework, do your own research. Don't just let somebody just post something and then that's it. Do your own stuff. You got to figure it out on your own. Knowledge truly is power.
And this guy's more than just, he was in Black Panther. He was Get Out.
Right.
He's way more than that.
Yeah.
And incredible performance. The Golden Globes even said so.
Oh, yeah. And apparently him and Jordan Peele are set to hook up on another project. So,
is it a horror movie?
I don't know if it's going to be horror for sure, but he is signed on to do another project with him. So we'll see. But yeah, that's it. Go out and vote Pop Culture Awards. Check out the website. Follow Matthew Mind's Eye Poke on IG. You can follow ZDN Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, really all over the board, Twitch, and of course our YouTube page, Zero Dark Nerdy. Be sure to check that out. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Oh.
Yeah! Victory!
And anger management?
Fuck anger management.
Thank you for listening to Believe. You can show support to your host by subscribing to the show and giving us a 5-star rating on your preferred platform. Check us out at Believe.com and search for BLEAV on YouTube.
Hey, it's Michelle Beadle. That's right, the Michelle Beadle. You're welcome. You love talking about sports. I love talking about sports. You know the only thing cooler than talking about sports? Sports! And right now, all your favorite sports are on Sirius XM. I'm talking every NFL game, every game from the NBA, NHL, MLB, every NASCAR race, golf major conference college sports, and all the top games in the WNBA. If it gets your heart pumping, it's on Sirius XM. So start your free trial of Sirius XM today. Visit SiriusXM.com/believe.